Hello, guys. This is Butterfly Spirit, and
It's A1 your hero.
we are back to talk about a thought that came to me. Um, we're here to talk about people thinking that they are spiritual because they have kids, or people thinking that they are spiritual because, for like the women, because they think they had a baby or whatever. So I want to start off with something that I saw in a spiritual group on Facebook. Actually, it happened to be in Ryan Cropper's friends group. So there was this girl who basically she said she woke up and she knew that she was magically pregnant. And that's what she said. She woke up and she was. And she just knew she was pregnant. She woke up in the middle of the night, like 3 or 4 in the morning, and she knew she was pregnant. You know, she said she had done like DMT so many times or whatever and stuff, and the pregnancy revelation just came to her. She even talked about the fact that she said that, you know, she had even did a meditation where she even communicated with the baby and stuff and was trying, talking to the baby and stuff or whatever. And, she was talking about just the fact that, now what astounded me that she spoke about was the fact that her boyfriend, he had a vasectomy 5 years ago. And I was like, well, how in the world is this girl pregnant if he had a vasectomy? And as a requirement of vasectomies for guys, they have to check up every so often throughout the year, so many times throughout the year, to make sure that they're not leaking any type of sperm or whatever. And this guy had already had it done. And so, this girl, she's saying, that she's pregnant. And I'm like, huh? Like, huh? Like, how is she pregnant if your significant other is fixed?
That is a big expectation and warning, that a big sign that they don't want to have any children. By the time they get a vasectomy, they do not want to have any children. So if you go and you do it anyway, you are highly disrespecting them, and you can expect them to leave you.
So I commented to this girl. There's people telling her congratulations and stuff like this, and I'm like, and this is a spiritual group. What is this, Maury? Some reality show. What I'm gonna start hearing, Jerry, right. Jerry. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? And I'm just like, and I commented to this girl because there's people telling her congratulations, and stuff, and I'm like,
well, I mean, what is a congratulations? I mean, I understand if you was trying really hard to have a baby, and you was really trying, and you just couldn't do it for like 3 years or something, and now you finally did it. Well, congratulations. That's a congratulations. You know what I mean? Or you've been trying for like a year and a half, and you just couldn't do it, and you both wanted a child, and you wanted to love it, and things like that. That's a congratulations, but it's not congratulations, okay, to someone who tries to make it look like the virgin birth. Oh, well, I must be pregnant spiritually. It must be a spiritual baby. It must be spiritual.
That's what she was trying to do.
Because she ain't the only girl that used that. There's been other guys who said that they've got vasectomies, and there's been girls who try to use that on them. So guess what happened? What happened is she went and cheated, got pregnant by somebody else, because she knew damn well she couldn't get pregnant by him, because she already was aware that he had a fucking vasectomy. Then goes back to him, tries to use the Christianity spiritual stuff, saying that it must be a virgin birth, it must be a miracle baby, so therefore we should have it. No, she just wants to have it because she wants to do it. She wants to do the stuff on Facebook. She wants to post those pregnant belly pictures. She wants to have the attention at the baby shower. She wants to try to pressure him into marriage with the baby. It's the same bullshit. It's what it is. So what's really going on is that you got this guy. He goes and he basically checks. Okay? He goes and he checks. You got people telling her, well, actually, what did you tell her?
Oh, I told the girl. So here's what I told her. So there were people telling her congratulations and stuff like that, or whatever. Somebody even said, some guy commented that she had like an alien baby or something or whatever. And then, I told her, I had this really long comment. I told her, I don't have it in front of me, but what I told her is I said, well, having a baby is a really big, it's a really big responsibility. And, you have to think about the impact that that baby is going to have on your life and it's going to have on his life. Evidently your boyfriend already had a vasectomy. And because he had a vasectomy, that means he doesn't want kids. That's a very high possibility he doesn't want children. Not with you or not with any other woman. He don't want no kids. So, you're going to have to be aware of the fact that he doesn't want kids. And if you try to force something, it's not going to go good. It might end up where y'all will break up because he doesn't want kids. He got a surgery, and that costs money. It costs I believe it costs like $1,000 to get a vasectomy. And that's not ain't nobody got no $1,000 I know lying around, and stuff ain't nobody got that lying around. So he was dead serious about this. I'm not having kids. And this could be because maybe his childhood, maybe he went through something and he doesn't want to bring kids into this world. I mean, this is not a world that is right for children. There's a lot of people who don't love their kids and they don't care about their kids. They just having a bunch of kids, but it's for money. It's not because they love their kids.
Or for attention. Or just for experiences for Facebook. That's it.
One thing, and I'll tell you guys about this other experience separate from this, but we went to a Dollar Tree. For those of you watching who don't know what a Dollar Tree is, it is just basically a dollar store where you go and buy stuff for $1. Everything in the store is $1. So this girl and this guy came in, and they had 5 little girls. And then the mom, she says, "Oh well, I finally had my little boy," and the little boy is the 6th child that she had. This is a baby that she had. She said, "Oh well, he's with his grandma and stuff." But she was happy about having the boy, which means because she said out loud, "Well, I finally got my boy. That's all I really care about." What does this say to her little girls? That says that they're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
she didn't even want them.
So can you imagine what that's going to be like when you go home with these little girls? Can you imagine that? And it's basically when the mom is raising the boy, you can imagine she's going to spoil this boy and give him all this stuff, and the girls ain't going to have nothing. Can you imagine that?
Or it could be worse than that. Or it could be where they're so short on money because they had too many damn kids that she has to decide who to put up for adoption. And you know which one she's going to keep.
The boy. And she'll get rid of the girls and, be happy with the boys and with the boy. Sorry, the boy. And here's why she would be happier with the boy is because boys, it doesn't take a lot to raise boys. I mean, you don't have to do their hair. Look at anyone here, all you got to do here is you don't have to do their hair. Girls, if you got 5 girls, you got to do all their hair. You got to make sure you get, clothes, pink clothes and all this stuff and all the little phases they going to go through with unicorns and stuff or whatever. Princess, mermaids, unicorns, whatever. Boys, yeah, they go through phases, but you don't have to groom boys very much.
We don't have periods.
So you don't have to have that. Boys don't get pregnant either, so you ain't got to worry about that either. It's one of those things with boys, you just get them up in the morning. You ain't got to comb their hair or nothing. I mean, you brush their hair, a couple brushes, and then throw their clothes on, throw their shoes on, they out the door. Girls, you got to do their hair. You got 5 girls, gonna take you some time to do their hair, and, if you got to do their little nails or something, and then you got to, there's a lot of stuff you got to do with girls. Whereas boys, they're easier. Maybe that's what she knows. But if she knew that she only wanted a boy, then there are things you can do to make sure you have a boy child. Do you know about what they said to do?
I think it was I believe it was certain things that you eat, like ice cream for one, watermelon for another. There's certain it's like a way to better produce a boy, but you gotta do it. Of course, you gotta do it all at the right time, but I mean, until it finally determines what it's going to be. But then you can get it checked at the hospital too. Now, I'm not so sure as to what date or how far along in the pregnancy you have to be. But then, you can just get an abortion. I don't know if you can get an abortion during the time where you can just get an abortion and make sure you have that boy instead of bringing all
Or those
those
girls.
girls and those feelings that they're going to have. They're going to be alive for however long. They're going to be in your life and another family member's life and different family members' lives for however long. And they're going to affect them at some point. They're going to be struggling. They're going to need money. They're going to be calling different family members and on their dad's side or their mom's side. You're going to be bothering people. Because this is, like I said, this is not the time to be having kids when businesses is going out and stuff like that. They're going to be needing money. You're going to go to college or something. You're going to need it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and especially if you have girls and they want to, like for girls, there's things where sports. What if the girls want to play a sport? Well, you have to pay for uniforms and them traveling and eating, and or they want to go to camp or something like that, type of stuff. Or they want to take ballet or play an instrument, or they want to do gymnastics or cheerleading. Think about it. What if they all want to do cheerleading? Think about all those uniforms, all that money, that you're going to be spending because towards all the stuff that the girls want.
Good luck at graduation because she pretty much had them back to back. They were pretty much they're like 9 months apart. Some of them like this dang near. She was just popping them out like a baby machine. So she was like just having them, and they all looked about the same age. But I mean it wasn't like spiritual or anything. Where I'm just trying to tell you,
But she had. We're just saying that she had multiple kids.
But the guy or whatever, the dude who got the vasectomy.
Okay, so this is a different.
Yeah. Later on, I forgot. Why was we telling them?
Okay,
that?
so we told you guys about the thing with the having the lady have multiple kids, because with that aspect, it's something about the fact that people don't care about their kids, and that's what we were talking about. Now, the aspect with Facebook where the girl was pregnant, where she woke up and she knew she was pregnant, and then her boyfriend had gotten a vasectomy, and there was no way in hell that he could have got her pregnant because he had a vasectomy 5 years ago and he was checking up on it.
Tell them about what she said next about they was arguing.
Okay, so she said, she didn't say about the arguing. I don't know if she said
afterwards,
she was arguing.
Right? They was arguing afterwards. After she announced that.
Oh yeah, after that.
Posting about how they was arguing or how they was having disagreements, and then out of nowhere, she made a post saying that I feel so betrayed and all this and that. So basically, she feels betrayed because why? Because she expected it to work, and she couldn't believe that he left, but he didn't get her pregnant in the first damn place.
Oh yeah, he did leave. Yeah,
he left. So she's talking about, I feel so betrayed. First thing that happened was she betrayed him already. The second thing that happened is that the reason why he left, simple. He says, hey, baby, I got to work late tonight. He goes to the hospital, ejaculates, have them check the sperm, and the sperm count says 0. And he's like, well, shit, there's 0 fucking chance I could have got her pregnant if my sperm count is 0.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to leave. I'm out of here. And then you just leave, and then you get that paternity test when that baby pops out. And now he's not responsible for the liabilities of the child support. And not only that, if both parents die and the baby lives, whoever, that baby's going to need that paternity test information for their hereditary diseases that they both may have.
There are people. Yeah, that's true. There are occasions too, like you just said. There's occasions where some kids, like, they might be riding with their parents or something, and then they're involved in a car accident. The parents are killed. And then, the family member who takes that child, they don't know anything about the child's, any diseases or something. And this is stuff that really happens, or people who adopt kids. That's important, too. Because kids who get adopted, you need to know what their ailments are going to be, because the person who's adopting them needs to know that, like if they got a peanut allergy or something like that.
Yeah, that's real messed up to not. That's why it's so dangerous.
Paternity tests are really important. It's not just
so dangerous to just go F around with different women, different dudes.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
and
not only
really fucking know where your damn baby is, and they don't know you. They don't know who the father is, or some shit like that. Because then, if your baby has problems, and you could kill your baby because you didn't get a paternity test, or he didn't get a paternity test. It's not always about proving, it's about really caring about your child. That's what it's really about.
It is
And loving
about
them
that, you
and worrying
know.
about their safety just in case you don't make it. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it is definitely about. It's more than just like just oh he's the father son. It's more than about that,
I
you
mean,
know.
but if she was fucking around, good thing you found that out.
Yeah, I mean a paternity test. I think
The person responsible is the person that needs to pay.
it's just like with the aspect of getting a because I think paternity test makes me think about what's that thing that people should get before they get married.
Fucking
What is it? It's a
prenup.
yeah, like a prenup, for example. A prenup's kind of this, in a way, in my mind, it's kind of the same thing where you get it, and it has a benefit of getting a prenup. So, like with a prenup, I was one of those people, like one of these girls who thought, well, getting a prenup, you know, I had all these preconceived notions about it. But when I actually looked it up and learned more about a prenup, I learned that a prenup itself is good because it is something that you get. So you get married to somebody. It is something where, you know, you start working on like the things like whether or not you're going to take on somebody's debt. You know, if you're somebody who doesn't want to take on your spouse's debt, you would write that in the prenup. So that's there. So you're no longer responsible because when you get married, your credit, your debt and stuff merges and stuff like that, or whatever.
Funny
And
how the bad shit merges, but not the good shit.
yeah, and another thing about the prenup too is that the prenup is something where you get it in like it's something that in case your spouse goes into the hospital, it gives you the ability to make decisions if they're at the hospital, like if they need to have a surgery or something like that, or they die unsuspectingly or something like that. You can make arrangements for them because you're married to them and you have that right, rather than the people at the hospital going to, you know, your spouse's mother or father and letting them make the decision. You know, it's something where you have stepped up to make the decision, so you write that in that agreement so that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So you can. There are certain things, and also in a prenup, it's important if you want to protect your certain types of stuff that you have before you come into marriage. That's important, like things you can't get back, you know, like people gave to you and stuff. You want to keep that to yourself, not be something where it's something where you're doing a divorce, you want to fight over something, you know, especially if you have a business. That's important to protect yourself and stuff like that. I mean, when people get married, they don't really know who they're marrying, you know what I'm saying? It can be a gamble. So it's better to set this stuff out before you get all the, you know, the wedding and the planning and all this stuff. It's best to do that too. So you make sure that you're marrying for love, than you are just getting married willy-nilly and stuff like that and not being
Because
sure
somebody
about it.
told you, or because of pressure, or because everybody's pressuring you. They're not going to be dealing with the relationship situations that you're going to be in on the daily in the first place. So
Well,
don't worry about that stuff.
what about that? What about that thing you heard about that where you say, well, people say you shouldn't get a prenup because you're not rich. What about that?
Well, people always say that. I mean, that's just one of the things that the girls use, because you never know. They expect you to actually get rich at some point. They expect you to have ambition. The women expect you. They will pressure you to find better jobs. They might even find better jobs and stuff like that for you. Have you create business. They will fucking do it so that they can benefit off of it. Or you may be a doctor and you worked your ass off for 12 years. Okay? You become a doctor. Woman comes in for 1 year, marries you without a prenup, and just takes half of everything you got after 1 year, just like that. I mean, of course, you know, with the whole alimony, you know, any businesses that you had that you came up with being a doctor, all that stuff just comes in after 1 year. It took you 12 years to get there.
Mm-hmm.
All she's got to do and legally thieve or legal theft and take your stuff after just 1 year. Now, that also goes for Social Security too. They can take that too. Okay. All this is just extra stuff, but
that's
as far as the spiritual thing goes.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go back to it. Like the thing is that I'm just raising this for people who are watching this who don't know about that. Like if like for example, with kids, like with the girl who she had this virgin birth. Now she didn't. Now I kind of knew that the girl from Facebook, I kind of knew that she cheated on him. You know, I kind of knew she did.
What other chance did she have?
Yeah, she can't
That's
just.
the only thing that she can come up with to try to make it acceptable.
And she's trying to say this virgin birth. Oh, I just woke up and I just knew I was pregnant. She ain't say she took no pregnancy test. Now, she said it after I asked, well, where the baby came, how she could have got pregnant. See, she was we're going back and forth because she got mad at me because I said something and I was actually being real about it. Because this will be her first baby and stuff. And she's, well, I'm grown and I know about kids and this and that other. And I took a pregnancy test and stuff. I told her, hey, make sure, if you think, you don't just think you're pregnant. No, you're pregnant. Go find out if you're pregnant because this is going to change stuff in your life and his life if it is his kid. But obviously it's not. But you want to make sure because there's some things, some stuff that can masquerade stuff in your body that seem like a pregnancy, but it could be something like it could be a tumor or it could be a parasite or something like that that's in there that you have to get out of your body. So you have to verify that you are in fact pregnant and it's not something more serious.
Yeah, so grown people, shit, all right? It's not, you just can't play around with stuff. We got people dying of things, of stuff. Oh, I didn't know. Or I didn't check.
Yeah, they don't know that they don't know. Like I said, peanut allergies. Some people don't know they have allergies to that. Like, imagine if you have a girl who's messing around with a guy and he has an allergy to peanuts or he has an allergy to seafood or whatever, or maybe in his family, maybe it's like in his family, everybody has a heart defect, or they can easily get, like they can have problems they can be more prone to getting a brain aneurysm or something like that, or blood disorders. Well, you want to know that through a paternity test. You want to know that. That's why you got to be careful who you mess around with. I'm not saying you're going to go get everybody's, every person you mess with a health history. But, people need to start taking kids as being more, having kids as being serious, not as it being just, ooh, I'm going to go have kids. Yeah, and that kid's going to change your life. There's a lot of people who don't realize it when the 30 seconds of orgasming is a lot different than the kid running around and screaming. There was just some kids that were running through our building and stuff, and I don't know whose kids they are, running and jumping and like bumping and everything up there upstairs, and we ain't got no kids. And, we've actually made the conscious choice to not have kids because of the way the world is and stuff like that.
I mean, are you going to let an animal outdo you of knowing where the safest place for the highest survival rate should have a baby at? Come on now. You're going to you're supposed to be the most intelligent being that there is, with the most highest, mind. Are you going to let an animal be able to figure out, okay, this is the best place for me to have a baby and to raise kids so that they can have the higher survival rate possible. Animals do that. So are you gonna let them outdo you?
Yeah, they make sure that their babies are, have a shelter, Like you don't see National Geographic, you see where you got the bears and make sure they got their little cave going on where it's gonna be no space and stuff, and they make sure that other animals make sure, all the animals do, but make sure that they got some kind of shelter. They make sure they have a plentiful place for food for their babies to eat, where they can catch food to get to their babies. They make sure it's the right climate and they have a place to go when the weather changes, type of thing. These are animals making these decisions for their kids, whereas humans are not making these decisions. Humans just popping these babies out. There's a lot of people who don't know that there's a lot of kids in adoption centers. I went on this website once and it was terrible when I saw all those faces of all those kids. It reminded me of when I went on a website for looking up adopting pets. Okay.
But there
were so many kids.
But there's so much more. It was, look, this is, I have to say it, okay. When I looked on there, okay, there was 249, not children, 249 pages
of kids.
And I'm talking that each page was filled with, one mom had 5 kids, another mom had 8 kids, another mom had 3 kids, another mom had 4 kids. I mean, these are litters of kids that's in there, okay? I'm not talking about they had a baby, they found out it didn't work, and then they gave it up. No, I'm talking about kids that had moms that had them to get child support from these different fathers, and these fathers end up dead. So now she's not getting child support anymore. So therefore, she can no longer afford, or get money from the dads to take care of the kids on a monthly basis. So now she doesn't even have that she was practically using for herself, and she was basically using another job that she had herself to pay for the food and stuff for the kids, and using their money for her. But now that the father is dead, she's no longer getting those monthly checks for those kids. So therefore, she puts them up in the adoption center. That's what I'm talking about.
I want to take it back to with the aspect of spiritual. So, with the aspect of the virgin birth, actually, Alan made a video about the truth about the virgin birth. So you guys could definitely check that out on his channel, and Your Hero. Definitely check that out because it's pretty interesting. What he found out about it, came to arrive at. So check out his video on that. And of course, this video is going to be on his channel and my channel too. But I want to talk about the aspect of why people will think it's spiritual to have kids. So, of course, we have to go back to Christianity because, well, people think Christianity is spiritual when it's not. But I wanted to take it around to Christianity with the church because there are a lot of people who think that it's good to have kids because of church, and they're told that they should have kids because when you have some people who go to church and kids who grew up in the church, and then when they get to be 18 or in their early 20s in their churches, they're told that they should get married by a certain time and they should have kids by a certain time and stuff, and this is what their expectation is. Now I understand that with churches, the reason why they want the young people in the church, and that are 18 or in their early 20s to have kids, is because they want to get more kids in their child ministry. That's really what they want to do, and they want to develop that so they have as many people have kids as possible, so they can have the kids in the ministry. But they don't have the kids in the child's ministry when they're babies. Well, no, they have the kids in the ministry when the kids are about 5 or 6, after the kids have cried and done all that stuff, where they have been already been programmed already, and they know when to sit down and shut up and everything else, and they're just gonna listen to what is said. And in my opinion, I think it's kind of scary that these churches have these child ministries when these kids are really young, because kids don't have a religion. They don't have one. What does it look like a kid being a Christian and they only 5? What is that? Kids don't know.
They go to church and they hear that God is the one who brought you in the world, and God is the one who takes you out of the world. He's the reason why you live, and He's the reason why you die. But when they go home and if they act up, now their mama's telling them something different. I'm the one who brought you in this world, and I'm the one who can take you out. So they asking questions like, okay, who brought me in here? Who can take me out? My mama or God? Like, which one?
Well, here's where
the kids start asking questions. He get popped in the mouth for asking questions about Christianity. That ain't cool. Well, you're the one who's confusing.
Well, here's where the woman would be right about they brought you here and they can take you out. So this could go back to abortion, where the woman makes the choice of, if she's pregnant, she makes the choice of whether or not the child stays here or whether the child is aborted. That's basically, she's nursing the child, it's here, it's in her stomach, she's carrying it, and then if she wants to, she can abort the child.
That's just in the womb.
We
got lots of moms nowadays that's getting rid of their children
by killing them.
By killing them, suffocating them, drowning them,
and
throwing them in lakes.
Yeah, and that's
in the rivers.
And there's a reason. There's a reason why there's a lot of women doing that. So I went to Planned Parenthood, and there are these groups outside of Planned Parenthood, and you know who these groups are? They're Christians. And there are Christians outside who are there to tell the women who are pregnant, no, keep the baby, have the baby. The baby has a right to live in this and that and other. But they ain't talking about the fact that they're going to help you take care of the baby. I asked this lady, that was outside that was a Christian. I asked her, I said, hey, I said, so I said, if I were pregnant, I said, so you guys are saying have the baby and everything, right? You know, for me carrying everything. I said, oh, so if I'm pregnant, that means that I can come stay at your house and you gon', you know, give me the food to eat and give me the room and make sure that I can raise my baby all the way up from birth all the way to 18. You gonna do all that and take me where I need to go and help me with getting the, you know, the kid and, you know, school and everything, do the good and the bad and everything. You know what this lady said? And this is a Christian. You know what she said? No. Okay, so what the fuck are you doing outside of a Planned Parenthood telling these women to have these babies? And a lot of these girls know that they can't have these babies.
That's what you
telling them to have a baby and you're going to do something to help them. Oh, well, there's this organization and that organization. What about your church? What about you? What about in your wallet? What are you going to do? What about your house? What about your life? What you doing to go help these pregnant girls? What are you doing? You going to open your house up?
I mean, it's not cool to say that, to go ahead and have a baby, go ahead and do that. Because plenty of moms can't always have kids. My mama, if she was to have a baby, she'd die. And the baby would be gone too, but I'd lose my mama if she got to get pregnant again.
And
so that's not cool to say that to people, just telling them to go ahead and do it. It's like telling them to die, you know, because you don't know who you're talking to.
You have no idea.
The situation. So they're doing something for a reason. That service has to be there. It's pretty fucked up because if they're sitting there for fucking cancer and their cancer has traveled down to the fucking child and they don't want to have a cancerous child, and you gonna tell them to have a baby? Like,
yeah,
it's not good. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
not everything's about you and your religion, and everybody needs to do what you want them to do. That's not what it's about.
And I wanna
have more love and compassion.
I wanna elaborate about that because I'm one of those people who can't have kids. So I wanna throw this out here for people. So they gonna say, "Do you know anybody?" I can't. I went through something where my body could not support a baby, you know, and this was our kid or whatever, and it could not. And I was at a Christian hospital with what happened, and they did not treat me like Christian people. Yeah, I could have died. So I'm throwing this out here for you got any Christians who gonna say some bullshit or whatever. You know, we're still torn up about what happened. But the thing is, I want to say this very firmly for those of you watching. This is serious shit when it comes to a woman being pregnant, you know, knowing she cannot support the baby and everything else, knowing that you have a couple, you know, a girl and a guy, they're, you know they can't and stuff. And this is what I do not like about people knocking abortion and saying it's a bad thing. No, it is safer with an abortion for a woman. It's safer and cheaper for a woman to have it done, and then therefore her and the guy, let's say they don't work out, okay, they can go their separate ways. But if she goes out a baby, she could die. You know, that's what almost happened to me. So, you know, I'm not going to have no, you know, Christians give no bullshit about no stuff where they're going to say, oh, well, you could have just, no. Okay? No. You want to comment? I can go back and forth with you. I'm not afraid to do that. Okay? Hell, I'll even make a video about the whole damn thing if you want. But I will say this. Kids are a serious thing.
Hey, do you have a video on your YouTube channel about what you went through?
No, I don't. I mean, okay. I could make a video about it, but I mean that it's a long experience. I could tell you what happened and what was going on in my life during that time, so that you guys really get it about it. You know, because this, to me, this is not the world to have kids.
I mean, because it's not clean.
No, it's not. It's not clean.
These self-aborts are not clean. I could get on my phone and just show you
the pictures, and you guys probably would not want to know that. When your body aborts a baby itself because you cannot have it,
and you don't get a chance to say bye or see you in the spirit world, or you don't get a chance because it's just it's the way this Christian hospital treated her. I was with her the whole time. I wasn't at work, nothing. I was right there in front of her, holding her hands while she got colder and colder. As a matter of fact, we'll make this a separate video, and we'll go ahead and show you the pictures and all that.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
But I just want to elaborate to people.
And y'all want to say that? I mean, that right there tells you that having a baby ain't fucking spiritual. It's just not.
No, it's not, because if it was, people would uphold the life of the child, and this is a Christian hospital, and they didn't.
What's the reason of God, supposedly of the Bible, fashioning a baby in her stomach just in order for it to die? There's no lesson for it to be learned. There's no lesson for the baby to have to grow up and learn, or there's no experience for her to have to go through, because that's just sick and psychopathic. It's supposed to be a gift from God. They all say that. So why isn't it protected? Because she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do any drugs, and neither do I. We're freaking clean.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is.
Let's get that out there. We're pretty healthy, so let's get that out there, because there are some people might be watching and thinking we're black, and they think that we fit stereotypes and stuff or whatever. That ain't the case. So just to throw that out there too, because there's gonna be people who gonna think just because we're black, we do this or we do that or whatever, and that shit ain't true.
Most of my diet consists of some motherfucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal or some Raisin Bran cereal in the morning, and I eat fish and kale, or I eat tilapia and some broccoli most of the time.
That is,
really eat.
That is when when you're not doing your bodybuilding, thing, or
well, if I'm doing that, if I'm in my bodybuilding mode, or I'm trying to gain strength or look fit, then I go with the whole celebrity diet. I go through the celebrity plan where it's just chicken breast, broccoli, and then brown rice, and then that's all I do. I make a big old stack on it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And I just eat that.
Yeah.
And I fast from. I stop eating at 6 p.m. and I start eating again at 10 a.m. So. Yeah.
So that's what he does. Me. Well, I'm the type of person, I eat a lot of stuff, so I like my pickles. That's my favorite thing. I gotta have them. That's my thing. I like my jar pickles. I don't hold jar in a day, but I do like to eat pickles throughout the day. It's something I like. I like cookies. I like, sweets. I do like that. But who don't like sweets? I do like vegetables and stuff. I eat fish and stuff.
She doesn't really eat sweets a lot. And when I say sweets, I mean candy. She doesn't really eat
I don't eat candy. I eat
it's more like
honey buns or like little.
And she doesn't even eat honey buns that often. You know what I mean? It's more like most of her sugar comes from Sprite. That's it.
Yeah, or I'll drink like soda or something. But no, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't go and party. I don't do any of that stuff. I live a very quiet life. And for surprise to people is, I actually went to college and got a bachelor's degree in management with an emphasis in international business. For those of you who think that, black people can't get no education, I got it from a university that's pretty well known. It's all around the world. So, just to throw that out there. So, and he's gone to college too.
I went there for 3 years. I came up to the last end of where I was about to finish. But I went broke. I couldn't pay for it no more. And they took out money from FAFSA that wasn't supposed to be taken out, and I ended up thinking it was for a class, and I had spent it, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and now they take it out.
They didn't reverse it, yeah.
They didn't reverse it.
But then they said you didn't owe anything.
They said
they're taking it out of your taxes.
Yeah, they say it wasn't my fault. They say it wasn't their fault. They say, but I have to pay it in full. I can't pay it in increments, but they are taking it out in increments through taxes, through the state taxes, not federal.
But the thing is that we're real people, just to get that out there. I know a lot of YouTubers, they're not really vocal about who they are or what they do and stuff, and that they have experiences. But with the whole thing with kids and just the church, with people thinking that people being raised with this Christian mindset of thinking that you're supposed to have a baby, having babies makes you anointed or it makes you holier than thou or something like that. Well, how does it make you holier than thou when you got women who say they're Christians and, like you said, they're killing their kids? And then though some of these women will say that God told them to.
And she went to jail. That was a real thing. She actually went to jail for that. She went to jail for that. The thing is that if you are, I don't see how, when I was a Christian, I've been here 14 years. When I was doing that stuff and in that stuff, I couldn't even fathom as much of the you're going to hell, You ain't shit. Only God can protect you. You ain't shit. You know, you going through that, do this, do that, and you try everything that they say. The whole premise of a woman having a baby, and you are a Christian, I cannot help but think that you have some type of evilness within you. Okay? Because you know that broad is the way to hell. Narrow is the way to heaven. And you see that your child is pretty much going to mess up twice, which you know, you mess up twice, you can't even repent. You got to go your whole life knowing that you're not forgiven anymore. Okay? Because, you know, if you know the truth already, then there will be no more remissions of sins.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks.
That's in the Bible. Yeah.
So then you got hell, and you got people leaving the church, all these different reasons. Okay? And you got people where things isn't going right in their life, have faith saved, you know, and it's not helping your child. You are not there. You have to work. And if your dad's not there, and your dad's not in his life, he's not there. Your child could be getting some type of abuse, physically abused, raped on a daily, and you never fucking know until they finally tell you. And if they've already tried to come to you telling you important things, that, you know, and you've grounded them, or you've hit them, or hurt them, or whooped them, or something, and they came to tell you the truth, and they got in trouble for telling you the truth, now they can't come to you. So now they're going to hide that secret for a long time. I mean, probably until they grow up out of your house, and you're never going to know, and you're going to realize it's your fault. Okay? So if you are a Christian, and you profess hell a lot to different people on Facebook, all in the comment section, on YouTube, all in the comment section, you're going to hell. If you don't accept Jesus Christ, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Telling all these people all that, okay? Despite no matter what the hell they're going through that made them leave, with your zero compassion for them. If you are the person that has a baby, you actually bring a life here to be another person that somebody like you can say that to your child now when they grow up, when they get a Facebook account, YouTube, and all that. That's very wrong, and that's something evil with you, because you profess hell so much. How can you ever? You do not love your child, because if you did, you wouldn't even, if you had the slightest chance of your child going to hell, and you know that, you would not have no motherfucking kid. Especially when you read the Bible and you find out that Satan's going to be able to get away with it all in 1,000 years, while you and your child and the rest of the family members get to burn in hell for eternity and never get to get out, ever. But Satan gets to get away with it all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you go with that stuff.
Yeah, didn't you know a guy when he used to go to church that did that, and he went around telling people that?
Yeah, and then I used to go to a men's meeting, and I stopped going after, because he was the biggest person. He would say mixed and messed up stuff like you got to meditate on the word. Well, first of all, you don't believe in meditation.
Yeah,
It's
you're
a
Christian, you
spiritual
don't believe
thing.
in
You don't
that.
believe in that. So what are you talking about? But when he said that, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to be having a baby, I'm like, you was the biggest person talking about hell, and it was somebody I admired at first until he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about hell, this person going to hell. If you want to do this right, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. What? But you had a baby. You made a baby, and then you had your wife go all the way through with actually having it. No, I don't look up to you anymore. You don't sit there and talk about hell and make everybody feel like shit all the damn time, and then now you want to bring a baby here to have the chance, the big, hugest, greatest chance in the universe, to go to hell for all eternity, where he gets to see, or she gets to see Satan walk right out, and after 1,000 years, to go do what? Start over? Well, if that motherfucker's getting out of hell in 1,000 years, guess where he's about to go? Heaven. He's about to walk up in there like he always done, and God's not going to know. And then he's going to tear the place up, and everybody's going to have to start over probably. But I don't believe in that stuff anymore. When I did, those are my thoughts. Okay.
But the thing is, though, too, is the Christianity impacts a lot of people in terms of, like, and in terms of if people get married, people think they got to get married because they're Christian. Because they church tells them, oh, you got to get married because you got a girlfriend and y'all mess around, so you got to get married. There's
and that's
people
where you end up with people that's miserable.
There's people in my family who I've seen people have to be forced to get married. I have a cousin, now I'll say her name, but basically she was forced to get married. Where we went to her wedding, and she got pushed out. She didn't want to get married. She got pushed out to go and get married, and because her mom was really all about Christianity and all that stuff. And then you know what? She was walking down the aisle with the flowers up here and all scared and everything. And it's supposed to be her wedding. You're supposed to be happy. And then here she is miserable. And get married and going along with it because of her mom. Because her mom got that tight rod of, using Christianity. And you do this and you do that and whatever and stuff. Using that to force her down the aisle and all this stuff like that or whatever. And that's sad.
It's supposed to be positive.
That's messed up. Like, how dare her mom do that to her and make her feel like that, because of Christianity. And I can imagine, can you imagine that, like, if her mom forced her to walk down the aisle like that, can you imagine what she must have been raising her saying with all these Bible verses and all this stuff? Can you imagine that shit? And she just went through it because I can imagine she must have had all this stuff, just kept going and going and going. And her mom's up going to church all the time and stuff. And you know how her mom did? Her mom walked down the aisle like she was Miss America, like it was her wedding. The bride feels like shit, but her mom walks down like she's the one getting
married. If you know anything about energy and vibration and frequencies, which, vibration is your emotional state. That's what vibration is. So if you got a low emotional state, you got a low vibration. If you're feeling happy and glad, like nothing can stop you, you got a high vibrational state. So imagine all that bad, nasty energy going into the wedding, going forward into the relationship, merging together, going forward in the relationship.
Yeah, imagine what kind of marriage it's going to be. Terrible, right? It's going to be horrible.
Bad juju.
And there's people who are forced into getting married because their parents or whatever, they want to rush it along or something and stuff, and they want to think it's gonna fix something. If you had a kid with somebody or whatever, they want to think it's gonna fix it because then if you get married, your child's gonna be anointed and it's gonna be better, and God's gonna look at your kid that way or whatever.
She had a baby. She had a baby too.
Yeah, she did have a baby. Yeah.
So now she had a baby, and that this is the spiritual way, that the Christian way. Does that sound good? Does that sound like a good spiritual path to follow?
Imagine what her baby's going to have to grow up with the grandma. Imagine what that child's going to have to hear the same thing over and over, the same thing she heard and stuff, and just being lower and lower. Like, can you imagine that shit? It sounds horrible.
It's mental abuse is what it is.
And the fact, and also when I think about marriage with that too, and tying it to it, is that people save themselves for marriage, meaning they don't have sex because of Christianity. Because they think, if I save myself, then when I get married and I have kids, God's going to bless me.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I got told that, and I did that myself. I followed that myself with her. I was told that if I had saved myself from marriage, and everything was going to be right with God. Everything would be right. Everything would be right with God, and I would be able to, get the jobs I want and everything like that. And everything was going to be right. I was going to be able to go to college, graduate, get the career, the whole shebang. But then so I looked it up. I really wanted to know for real. When I looked it up, there was a black dude just like me, and he was going through it, but he actually went all the way through with it.
With the marriage
thing, and he saved himself. But when it came time to
wedding night.
When it came to wedding night, you're supposed to seal the deal. When it came to that, she pulled his pants down and she told him, "I seen horses' penises bigger than that. What is that?" And then after that, they had a divorce, just like that.
Well, luckily he got a divorce really fast because otherwise
she'd be taking his money and taking half of everything he owned and stuff he can't afford to buy back. But there you go. And he did it. So this is a person who did it already. Now, I had two teachers in college.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a male teacher and I had a female teacher. They both of them themselves, they didn't have sex with each other. Okay. Well, they wasn't together. It wasn't.
They were just two separate
teachers
occasions.
Two separate occasions. So the female, my lady teacher, she told me, "Ellen, make sure that you live with a person before you marry them." And I was like, but church is always telling me, now this is a person who's settled down already.
What does settle down mean?
The adults settle down, not the girls settle down. Okay, they're settled down with their career. Okay, they're settled down where they got a house, they got a car. Okay, they pay bills. And
they got their credit together.
Their, credit stuff. All that stuff is together. That the real settle down, the adult way. Okay?
What's the other settle down the girls talking about?
The other settle down the girls talking about is give them a baby, and then marry them so that you can have the baby experience and the marriage experience, and then that's it. They'll probably, and then after that comes the lesbian experience.
They'll cut their hair off.
Cut their hair off, get real fat, don't really care about you. That's it. They got what they wanted. That they say that to settle down things, so that you can give them what they want because they don't really care about you or the child. They just want to take a selfie. Okay. So anyway, the thing is that
that's so funny.
The thing is that take a selfie with their baby, with the pregnant belly picture where they go like this, making a heart and shit
with the maternity shoot. Yeah. I see that a lot on Facebook where the girls are. They're offering those maternity shoots now, and the girls try to make themselves like they're gonna be the best mother ever and all that stuff.
They gotta make it look good because they know damn well in real life.
Yeah, you gotta take the pictures. Well, they got the pictures. It ain't
gonna be good, but
they got the experience.
That's what she said, and I was like, well, if she settled down already,
settled down,
and she's
meaning
in her career,
yeah,
and she's got a house, she's got a car, and she's telling me this, and she's much older, like she's 45 or something. The dude was like 50.
The guy teacher, yeah.
The guy teacher was 50. So she told me that, and I was like, damn. Oh, but I still got to do it the church way. See, I was still stuck in it. Okay, but then after the dude said it, now he's a dude.
He's the guy teacher.
I'm a guy. He was black. I'm black. So I'm like, uh-oh. Because the teacher that I had, there was the female, she was a redhead. But now I'm in college hearing this, and this dude said, this is just private conversations. The classroom ain't going on.
Yeah.
I'm just there a bit early, to ask questions before class starts. And shit, he tells me, look, make sure you live with a person before you marry him. That's the second time I done heard this. All right, something's up.
Too.
Yeah, I'm in college. So I better have my high intellect going.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sitting here like, okay, I need to listen to them. So what did I do? I made sure I moved in with a person before marrying them.
Yeah,
And I'm so glad I did that because those first years,
yeah,
where your personality and her personality, or if it doesn't match up, I'm telling you, you're gonna have big fights. Okay, and you might say some things that's gonna be not happening. God, I'm just nice like that. But you're gonna say some things that's gonna be so hurtful.
Yeah,
that you will have a divorce. Yeah, if you got married before you moved in.
Yeah, we moved in. We're not married, but we moved in together, and we had that experience, and we still live together now.
But guess what? We had faith during that time. We believed in Jesus Christ during those times. We believed in God during those times. We was Christians during those times. The times where we was a Christian was the worst years that we had.
Yeah.
It was the worst years of our lives what we've had when we were Christians. We went through all that.
Yeah, and I know. Oh yeah, and the thing with the church that you were attending, where what was messed up with the church he was going to was that I was Catholic, so I went to a Catholic church, and he was Pentecostal, so he went to Pentecostal church. And so they didn't like the fact that I was Catholic, that I was a Christian going to like a Catholic church. They didn't like that.
Christians versus Christians. Ain't that fucked up?
And if I was going to get married in their church, they said that I had to be saved, whatever the hell that means, in their church. Then we could get married in their church.
So basically, who's the God now? Who's God? Who's Jesus? They want to be Jesus. They do. They want to be the God.
Yeah.
They are God. They are Jesus.
And there's even an occasion
where... It
where...
ain't about no Jesus or no God. It's about them being God. About them being Jesus. They tell you what to do.
Yeah, there was even an occasion where they wanted us to break up. And I was like, and that's what...
Yeah, they said to me that, well... We won't recognize your marriage, and you guys should shouldn't be together because God say no shacking up and things like that without being married. There's plenty of homeless shelters for her to go to.